doing? Hello, welcome. This is Ear Biscuits with Rhett and Link, and today
No, it's not. Yeah, this week's podcast is starting out with us literally stealing some other person's brand.
Imagine that.
Other people's brand.
What if we could get Rhett and Link on the podcast? How cool would that be?
That would be amazing.
That would be really
honestly.
cool.
And they're podcast professionals.
Yes, I've learned
like they would
very
carry
quickly.
the podcast, but we wouldn't have to do a thing.
Their podcast is wonderful. I don't know if you listen to their podcast, but it is wonderful.
I need to.
It's
I need
just
to
like
listen
great
to it.
for just like sitting and like I don't know. I personally like very much identify with Rhett as a person. He talks a lot about how like his youth growing up in I think they grew up in North Dakota or something like that, or North Carolina. That's what it is, North Carolina. You know, growing up in a southern state, very religious, and then like as you grow up, you're like, there's some funky stuff here, and the churches aren't practicing what they preach, and I don't think that's what I want to be a part of anymore. You know,
Yep.
he talks a lot about that in a couple episodes, and it's like, damn. So I'm a big fan of Rhett. Link, I like Link. I think I like Rhett more, but I like Link. Link is a good
All right.
bean.
So before we get them on our podcast as guests at some point in the future, we're gonna show them this clip.
Yeah.
that
And
you
Link will
explained
be
that you
like,
like
"All
Rhett
right."
more than Link.
Well, it's just that I identify more with Rhett. In that same vein, though, I also identify a lot with Link because, like, in all the challenges and stuff where they have to eat weird food, Link's like, I like bland. Bland is good, and I'm like, yes, bland is good. I don't want nothing weird. None of that. Bland is good. I don't
Okay,
know.
can we do our normal intro now?
No.
Like our intro?
No. Welcome to Keepin It ADHD podcast. That was English.
Beautiful.
Welcome to the Keepin It ADHD podcast, where enunciation is optional.
Yep.
I'm Rahlyx,
I'm Scarfee.
and
Together we can't
are Ear
say
Biscuits
anything.
with Rhett and Link.
Jesus fucking... No, we're not! My God. Okay. Oh God. Moving on from Ear Biscuits because
No.
this we're not gonna.
I never want to move on from Ear Biscuits.
We're gonna get in legal trouble.
No, we're not. What? No.
No, we're not gonna get in legal trouble. It's just like it's weird. I don't feel comfortable with this. Okay. Yeah. Welcome to this.
Feel comfortable.
Why are you writing on your iPhone with your Apple Pencil?
Why
Does it
is
work?
he asking so many questions? No, it doesn't work. I wish it did. That would be great.
Yeah. I think that they're planning like Apple Pencil support.
That'd be cool
Or,
for like the Pro Max,
like,
13.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Virtual future iPhone models.
Virtual.
Yeah. So
Virtual
this
sounds
is gonna
like
be
a word
interesting.
that Granny would say, like Chris Mergelbergle.
Virtual.
Virtual.
Virtual. Yeah. Granny is amazing. Have you seen her recent video of her like quote unquote deep lore, or like where the origins were of Granny
I
as a
haven't.
channel and the character? It's a really cool video. It is 15 minutes long,
Ooh.
but it is really
I mean,
really
I'm into
good.
it though. Yeah.
It is it is very inspirational and has a lot of like different wisdoms in it. Why am I suddenly developing a Russian accent like in the middle of me talking?
You always say W words with a V.
Always?
Like half the time you say a W word, you correct it with an actual W.
I
You'll be
never
like,
even
let's go
noticed
sailing on the water, and I'm like, yeah, okay, all right.
Water.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God! I never even noticed that I
it's-
do that.
It's unimportant. It's not anything remotely worth paying
I
attention
mean, it is not
to,
important, but to me, I just want to say it correctly. You know.
You are saying it correctly. That's the thing. You know what? You speak fluently in multiple languages, which is more than most people in this country can do. Most people in this country can't even read their primary language.
Oh my God. I mean, true, but
at higher than like a third grade level. Like,
oh my God.
it's just, you know what? If anybody ever
I don't want to use that as an excuse to like
I don't think you are, though. I don't think you are. But
Oh,
I think if
okay.
anybody gives you shit, I'll punch him in the head. Also, I just realized my monitor's cracked.
Oh my god.
Oh
Oh no.
no. That's a
Oops.
shame. I mean, it's not a big crack. It's a tiny crack, but still, it's cracked. Oh well.
Speaking of cracked, Fortnite.
Fortnite, number 1 victory, Roy. Yeah, Fortnite, we about to get down. Get down. 10 kills on the board right now. Just went
Okay,
out
and
to
we're back.
down.
And we're back with our ADHD bullshit. Welcome back, everybody.
Okay, hold up. No, hold on. We talked about this on Twitter. We haven't talked about this on the podcast. The line is, my friend just got down. I revived him. Now we're headed southbound. Now we're in the Pleasant Park streets.
Oh.
Pleasant Park is to the west. It is not to the south of Tomato Town. The Tomato Town massacre didn't happen. It didn't happen. This kid's lying. He's a straight up liar.
Tomato Town massacre is a hoax.
Somebody on Twitter was like, okay, well, they went south, then they went to Tomato Town, or they went to Pleasant Parks. And it's like, no. Here's the thing. Maybe we can infer that. But if we're going with the information that we are being given in the song, they headed south to Pleasant Parks. Pleasant Parks is to the west. This kid is full of shit. Somebody throw him in jail.
Go in on the analysis of this child from TikTok.
Speaking
in
of
on
people
his lyrical abilities.
Dude, speaking of people that cheat at games and lie about games for no reason at all whatsoever, let's talk about Dream.
Oh my god. Here we go.
No, I don't want to talk about Dream. I'm good, actually. I couldn't resist the gag.
I mean,
oh, bless.
It's completely valid. I mean, I understand. Like, disclaimer: Rahlyx has some strong feelings about Dream.
I don't. Okay, well, hold up, real quick. I don't necessarily have like strong feelings about Dream himself, but I'm really fucking sick of hearing about Dream. That's what and it's not just Dream either. I have muted on Twitter. I've muted Carl. I've muted Tommy. I've muted Dream. I've muted like most people in whatever that Minecraft server is because I just don't care. And people get so worked up about it, and it's like I don't. And also, do not put anything about Dream in like the title or the tags or anything like that because people are gonna find that, and I'm gonna become a target. So just don't. Let's not mention Dream at all, please, for the love of God.
I mean, as we have learned from multiple celebrities on the internet and YouTube, all press is good press.
I mean,
I don't mean it literally, but I'm just saying that you're completely valid in whatever feelings you have about the fandom. Is just like this currently what is happening right now is like it reminds me of 2015 Twitter when it started to get overcome with like K-pop fandoms and stuff. Yeah. When like something was on the rise and the trend, it was like literally everywhere and you couldn't escape it. This is what is currently happening with the Minecraft YouTubers, which was what was happening like back in 2010s as well. Like it's just a resurgence of the same trend, just different people. And like I don't
same monkey,
really like.
Is that an expression?
A what? Same monkey, different hat.
Yeah.
I don't
think I've ever heard that expression.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
But it's kind of fun to think of a chimpanzee wearing a hat. I
mean, it fits. It could be an expression.
Could wear a hat. There's a whole character in Futurama that's a chimpanzee that wears a hat, but the hat gives him the ability to speak. It's pretty cool.
Interesting.
So there's a whole book
let me
about
guess.
that?
There is an episode. There's an episode where
I'm
what?
just in. What's the book? There's a book. There's a children's book. It's called the monkeys, the man with the hats, and monkeys are in the trees, and he has a stack of hats on his head, and the monkeys take the hats off of his head. He has his whole inventory stacked on top of his head like an idiot. Yeah, his whole inventory of hats.
Yeah, let's speak about a children's book in gamer terms.
Well, no, I mean like his stock, his whole inventory is.
Well, I mean, yeah,
stacked on top of his head.
Does he sell those hats?
Yeah, he sells the hats, but the monkeys take them, and he sits there on the ground as the monkeys are wearing his hats, and he goes, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." Yeah. So.
That sounds very menacing, but I mean, considering it is a children's book, I would suggest that it is pretty harsh for the standards. But it is Yeah, it's really cool to point out that it's kind of stupid to wear all of your tradable goods on your hat
Yeah.
on your hand on
You ever
Jesus
heard
Christ,
of a
I can't talk.
backpack? Like shit, put all your hats in a backpack if you're gonna carry them
Mm-hmm. Yeah, put them somewhere safer than literally like
on top of your head.
feet away from the top of your head where you can't even reach them.
Exactly. It's silly. Very silly.
Jeez, man, from a children's book, be
Come
smarter.
on, dude. Come on, hat salesman from Monkey Cap, the book.com.
That probably doesn't even
monkeys.
exist in real life.
Oh,
Anyway, yeah. Well, I mean, same monkey, different hat. Kind of applies because it's the same. It's the same people in this like. Oh, it's the same community and the same trend, just different people. And yeah, I mean, it's just taking over the whole of the social media, and it's annoying to see it everywhere when you're not interested in it. Like I also been trying to mute like a bunch of topics and stuff, but it just doesn't work because it keeps like I'm following too many people who are also a part of those communities, and I mean, good for them. Like I'm glad that you're interested in that kind of stuff. I'm just not like, and the only thing that annoys me, it's not those people particularly, the ones that are like getting all of this attention and success. It's more the amount of information that is being dumped on me on the topic that I don't want to hear about.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
I have other stuff that I'm interested in, and it's making it really difficult for me to find when it's just like a entirety of my timeline is filled with the tweets about Corpse, the tweets about Dream, tweets about George, Carl, whoever else there is, Tommy.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know, but like I mean they're nice people. I don't have anything against them.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't want to. I just don't want to people like keep spamming my timeline with the fact that they bought a new chair. Okay, great. Like
Yeah.
I'm glad they bought a new chair. I don't want to hear about it.
Exactly. And
Thank you.
And I'm not trying to like yuck anybody's yum, you know what I mean? Like if you're into them, then you're into them and that's fine. I just am tired of hearing about it cuz I'm not interested. And it gets exhausting cuz like there was a while there where my entire feed was just like constant jokes and stan Twitter crap. And I'm like I don't get this because I don't watch it, and I don't support most stan Twitters because they usually take they take an inch and go for a mile. Like so I just don't.
It's just a phenomenon of stan Twitter a lot of the time. Like literally not all of the stan Twitter, but like a lot of the time, just with the nature of how Twitter is, they just take something like really mild and they blow it up in the proportions that it doesn't need to be.
Exactly.
It becomes toxic really quickly, so I tend not to participate in stuff like that.
Yeah. I just had a really wiggly hair that I pulled off. It was like
what does wiggly mean? You mean curly or wiggly?
it looked like a spring from a pen but you pull it out.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
Yeah. My hair's really dead. It's really dead. I just got a haircut and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll cut off an inch and change and it'll get rid of all the dead." It's still dead.
I mean,
still dead.
All hair is technically dead.
I know, but it's just really
it's just
bad.
it's just dry.
The front is okay. The front is okay. The back just gets like knotted constantly and I don't
Yeah.
It's miserable.
But that's just the reality of bleached and dyed hair, honestly.
Yeah.
my hair knots constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't do anything about it at all. It's just because it's dry and textured. So
Yeah.
that's just the life of people with colored hair because we choose to kill it with bleach.
Yeah,
because we're not happy with the color of our natural hair.
I'm unhappy with it.
Speaking of things that we're happy about, though, or maybe like unnatural hair colors as well, or wigs, Hannah Montana is back.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Did you see that?
Montana's back.
Hannah Montana is just created like an account on Twitter, like literally a few days ago.
Oh, is that the old Hannah Montana Twitter? Sorry for the yawn.
No. It's like they created a new Twitter account. And it's now verified on Twitter and it's everything. So
I dig it.
Yeah, is it planned to come back at some point? I don't know.
I would assume there's going to be some new Hannah Montana stuff. I think the reason why it's taken so long is because whatever whatever legalities around it probably just expired.
Oh.
If I had to guess.
Oh, do you think like the old Disney Channel execs wouldn't sell the rights to Miley or something like that?
Let's look
Or like
up. When was the last episode of Hannah Montana?
I don't know.
January 16th, 2011. It has been 10
2011.
years since the last episode of Hannah Montana. I would bet money that there was some kind of contract that's like, we own anything Hannah Montana for 10 years.
Yeah, probably.
And now it's
I would
up.
assume so.
So-
That's how usually like it goes with the TV shows, isn't it?
Yeah.
People just hold on to the rights as long as they can, so nobody else can steal their money.
I mean, it's like
essentially.
the thing about it is there's like people who win American Idol and that sort of thing. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, everything you do for the next 2 years belongs to like American Idol and their record label and that sort of thing. So most people who win will make the debut album that comes out after the fact and then wait till their contract is up.
Mhm.
But then as soon as their contract is up, they're like, here's a new album, here you go, all the money goes to me instead of the fucking whatever the record label
I mean,
is.
that would make sense. That would
Yeah,
make sense.
I mean,
Definitely.
that's what I would do.
I would assume also, considering my favorite show on the internet, the with Trixie Mattel and Katya.
Mhm.
I would assume that the winners of like Drag Race and stuff also have something similar going on, because a lot of them make like movies or like features with a lot of different companies, and including the production company for the RuPaul's Drag Race, which is Wow Presents.
Yeah.
They go onto their YouTube channel a lot. Like a lot of them go into the YouTube channel. A lot of them go and make like features and stuff. And it's that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, American media, mainstream TV media, we're cracking your code. We're coming for
here.
you.
We know. We've solved.
We know a lot.
the
It doesn't mean
equations.
anything, and you're not supposed to be threatened in any way. But like, we know it, I guess.
We're here. We know. And if you want us to stop spreading your secrets, give us two bitcoins, and
That's $100,000.
give us 4 bitcoins, and
$200,000.
yeah, and we'll be good to go.
Give us 4 bitcoins and 10 Tesla stocks each.
Dude,
And then-
Tesla stock's been struggling lately.
Has
Also,
it?
if you Google the expression "same monkey, different hat," the first result is that children's book I was talking about. So.
Makes sense.
You monkeys,
So
you
it
give
came
me
from
back my
somewhere.
caps. Yeah.
It might not be necessarily like an expression, but it is
does
it is
exist.
in literature somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
There
You
you
know.
have it.
you're valid.
There you have
Your
it.
brain pulled it out of the deep storages
Truly,
somewhere in the
it really, really fucking did.
hippocampus. What is that? Is that hippocamp? Something like that.
Campus.
Hippopotamus.
There's a hippo on the campus. Look out! How did the hippo get on the college campus? I'm really scared because hippos are 2-ton death machines. Look out! It's a hippo on campus. Look out! He's
You know what I
gonna
love
eat
about this
you.
podcast?
Somebody get a watermelon. Have you ever seen a hippo eat a watermelon in one bite? It's really cool to watch. Go to YouTube, type it in. It's really funny. Pause the podcast right now and go to YouTube. Hippo
I
on
love how-
campus.
In the during our filmings of the podcast, a lot of the different like random stuff that we say just through you just turns into a random song.
It's what
Like,
I
a
do.
lot of
Here's
the
thing.
time.
All right, here's the thing, and my brother can attest to it because he's 10 feet away from me. We spent our lives making things up, right? We made a whole bunch of shitty movies while we lived on our ranch. We used to have a radio show, which was basically just a podcast thing that we recorded on the cassette tapes that we had lying around the house.
Oh my god.
And a lot of them
Do
had
you still have
improvised
those?
music. I don't know where they are. I don't think we still have them. Do we still have them anywhere?
If you bring them on, that would be insanely impressive and great, and I would love to see that.
He's
Because
saying he might have them on a hard drive somewhere.
really? Oh
Yeah.
my god, I'm so excited.
At least one of them. Hold on.
Well, I mean, not necessarily like right now, but
don't have
it would
Molten
be
at all?
really nice to like
Oh.
to hear what you guys were doing.
Yeah, so we did we did James Bond spoofs. We had one that
my
was
God.
Moldfinger. And the theme song was just my brother covering Goldfinger but with mold instead of gold. It's very funny.
That sounds amazing. I would love to hear that if you ever find
Mary,
it.
Queen of Scots from jail or something like that, and it is very bizarre.
I mean,
some of the stuff, I don't know if some of the stuff aged super well. All right, we were little kids, but
all right. Well, I mean, everybody's
if we
been a
can find
kid
him,
at some point.
if we can find him, we
If
we
you-
have
if
like a
you
whole
do-
bunch of home movies. There's one I know is not good, but we used to do. We played 24 the game, which if you know 24 the hit TV series where every episode happens in real time in an hour, and yet somehow Jack Bauer seems to be on all sides of Los Angeles at all moments. But they made a game, right? And there's one part of the game where you're playing as Tony Almeida, and you have to go investigate this thing in Chinatown, I think. I don't know. You're looking for a man named Mr. Shin. What? It was Koreatown. It was Koreatown.
Okay.
And so you go and you find Mr. Shin, but he doesn't want to get in trouble, so he runs from you. And if you don't catch him in time, then he gets hit by a bus. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, because he runs away from you, so you're like running through alleys and stuff, and you're trying to catch him. And also, the more I think about it, the more I realize 24 the game is just like wild post 9/11 American propaganda.
Oh Jesus!
it's a lot because
exactly what we need right now.
Well, the whole concept of the show is counterterrorism, that sort of thing, right? So, but somehow the counterterrorism headquarters is constantly being attacked by terrorists.
I mean, that kind of makes sense because that's their main antagonist. Well, whatever.
Yeah,
it's just like it's
anyway,
a dated game.
So we used parts of like scenes from that game in a movie, but we like reenacted them. It was weird, but the part with Mr. Shin was one of them.
I mean. You
We
can
didn't
go
get
over
hit
them
by
and
a
make sure
bus,
that there's
but-
nothing like necessarily too bad, and then
No, there's
we
nothing
could,
like
we could
particularly
look
bad
at
in them. There's nothing particularly bad in them.
I'm just
It's
like really
old.
interested in what kind of stuff you used to make.
Just really shitty like old action movies with our airsoft
Action.
guns and stuff. Huh?
It's just like really cool to look back at what you used to make and now like where you are now.
Yeah.
It's just it also kind of kind of informs of where you came from and in what you're doing now in terms of like streaming and video work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just really interesting to look at the roots of your interests,
Yeah.
so to say.
It's a whole thing.
Mhm.
Oh, bless.
Speaking of streaming,
Mm-hmm.
do you want to talk about the highlights?
Oh, yeah, so we played the new Fall Guys update. The new Fall Guys I should turn this way because this is where my camera is. We played the new Fall Guys update, and it was a lot of fun, and there was a bit where I got just like absolutely yeeted by Saturn. Saturn like threw me into the air. And I tweeted the clip. I was like, this is really cool. And people who might want to learn how to do that kind of exploit to get lucky with, like, here you go. Move over, Elon Musk. I'm already using Saturn as an orbital assist, so get out of here.
Move over, SpaceX. We have our own space program.
Exactly.
It's called Rahlyx Plus.
Fuck. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But so I casually, like, in the replies to it, it was like 2 replies down too. I was just like, "Yo, Twitch, y'all making a compilation video?"
Uh-huh.
I never got got any interaction with that tweet except for maybe like you and Kate liking it, I think.
Yeah. And then yesterday at 2 p.m. I get a text that says, and I quote,
"It was later than 2 p.m." It was way later than 2
Uh,
It was like 6 your time.
it it was 6 p.m. and the text says verbatim.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Because you were so excited that you couldn't even spell correctly.
But the extra layer of humor here is that I was at the grocery store getting groceries, and
during a tornado warning,
literally a tornado touched down, like nearby.
Oh my god!
As I got the notification on Twitter that I think it was Amigan tagged me and it was like, "Hey, Rahlyx is in this," and I was like, "Whoa, this is so cool!" And my original draft for my tweet, which ended up being "Mom, get the camera again. We're back." The original draft for the tweet was like that face when you made it onto another Twitch highlight video, but also you're stuck in a grocery store while a tornado's going down. Guess it's not all bad though. But I was like, that's too morbid. That's way too morbid.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Also, like, I imagine, like, thinking that when you got that notification from Twitter and then you got on a new highlight and then the 10 tornado sirens started going off, and the tornado sirens weren't actually signaling a tornado. They were just signaling that you got onto the highlight complex.
Everybody go
Rahlyx
to
made it. Somebody from our
goodness.
hometown made it onto the Twitch highlights.
Oh, bless.
Oh god. I hope everyone's okay though.
Yeah, no.
Yesterday was like,
it didn't get too close to me. I know Atlanta got hit a little bit harder than us because I know Kitty Cosmos was like, "Hey, I'm in a bathroom. Tight. Love that."
Oh god.
Yeah. That sucks, but
that's also one of the reasons why we are kind of filming on a day later, because yesterday Rahlyx had a tornado.
Yeah, literally, like we were gonna film and I was like, well, actually I'm looking at a weather radar and there's a tornado. So maybe we shouldn't today.
It would have made for an interesting podcast episode.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Like, sorry, excuse me, we're gonna pause right now because our home is about to be destroyed by a tornado.
Let me grab the camera. You guys can come with me and we're gonna go into the bathroom and we're gonna continue this podcast. Oh, bless. God, put that on the no context Twitter. Fuck.
Jeez.
Oh, what was I gonna say though?
I don't know.
No, I was gonna say. Here's the thing though. I wasn't notified at all that I was gonna be on that highlight reel. So I wouldn't have known if people hadn't tagged me in the post. I had no idea. Which kind of brings me to a thing where it's like I'm grateful that Twitch like puts eyes on creators for cool compilations and credits them by putting their name in the field for a second, but like tag the creators in the video. Like literally Twitter allows you to tag people in things or drop in the replies all the creators' Twitters. Like it's not hard. Every single creator that they used on that highlight reel has a Twitter linked in their Twitch profile. I promise you. So like, how hard is it to do, the extra layer of due diligence and just go, here, let me do that, because that would be really great. And it would get more eyes on the creators where people just go, oh, that was kind of a cool compilation and move on.
Yeah.
Instead of going, oh, hey, that was a cool compilation. And I can see exactly who was in it right here. Like, I don't know. I don't want to be like, oh, thanks, but it's just kind of.
I mean, with Twitch, it's kind of like a given at this point because with the pattern of stuff that they've been doing and the direction that they've been moving, it's difficult not to look skeptically at everything they kind of do.
The thing that's so dumb though is that it's just like, if you help promote your creators, especially creators that you have deemed worthy enough to throw into a compilation,
at least go all the way.
Yeah,
at least tag them, make them.
All that could happen
visible
from getting more eyes onto more accounts is more money for Twitch.
Yeah,
like just do it.
There's no reason not to do it, but also like it makes no sense that the clip that you're using to promote the category of games, like basically what that compilation was the promotion for Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout.
Yeah.
Like it was promotion for the new season of the game and showcasing how much fun people are having with it. So like if you're using somebody for promotion, at least give them the due courtesy of tagging them in the compilation that you made.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not asking for any kind of like reconciliation for using it. Reconciliation is not the word. What is it? Not reimbursement.
Reparations?
Not definitely
No.
not reparations.
Reparations is the no. Reparations is a historical term. Nope. No. Carry on.
Compensation. That's the word. Yeah. I'm not
There we
looking
go.
for any compensation. Obviously, I tweeted the clip at them. It's like I wanted them to use it because for nothing else, it's really cool to send to like everybody I know and go, look at me, I'm fucking important.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how you have to behave on Twitch to be noticed and like and be discovered.
I mean,
but
it really is. It's stressful because it's like I don't. That's not the kind of. That's kind of not the person I am. I do. I mean, like it's to be the center of attention, but I don't like to be like, haha, look at me. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I have something funny to say, and you guys are gonna enjoy it. So give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes to be front and center here. And let me tell you about my psychology professor.
Yeah. Oh God, that story. Jesus Christ.
Oh God, I'll never get tired of it.
Have we? Oh yeah, we talked about it on the podcast on the Halloween episode. If you guys haven't seen the Halloween episode, go watch it. But that's where you can hear all about Rahlyx's
nightmare.
College psychology professor that turned out to be not such a great person.
A TLDR is he wanted me to bang his wife, but I'm sure most of the people who were here heard that already once. So.
Anyway.
Really uncomfortable. Really,
it also out of context, like out of nowhere. It also kind of is just like it's jarring. You just need to hear the whole story of like what was happening at the time.
Go have a listen.
So, yeah,
it involves LinkedIn.
The one that's been bought by Microsoft. Discord is getting bought by Microsoft for $10 billion.
Yeah.
What the hell is happening there?
I talked about this on stream. I really hope that Microsoft buys Discord and leaves it alone. If they just,
I really hope so,
because they could just, if they just start using Discord as like it's going to be packaged with every fucking install of Windows, I'd be like, great, sure, fine by me. That's fantastic. Like the more people using Discord, the easier it is for me. Because if I have to use Zoom one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, I had to actively use Doom for the Doom. I mean, yeah, that's kind of an appropriate name for it. I had to kind of actively use Zoom over the past year because of the college and the remote study, but it's so bad. It is so bad.
It is garbage.
It's like it's not necessarily that it's a poorly designed software. It's poorly executed software.
Yeah,
like it's so buggy. It's so glitchy. It has so many issues and. It would have been so much easier if people just used something more commonly accepted, instead of shoving that half-baked product into everybody's requirements. It's yeah. But I just really hope that if Microsoft does buy Discord, that they don't do the same thing that they did to Skype with it, which was tied directly to the Microsoft account and have it like be constantly all the time active on your Windows.
Yeah.
Like I remember the time where I used to install Windows and then I would literally go and manually have to delete Skype.
Yep.
Because it would be active all the time.
Skype is still
and there was no way to turn it off.
Install. Yeah, I still
and
have
then
Skype
what it would randomly like you would click on a number somewhere like and you would try to use like a different application but it would go through Skype.
Yeah.
Or like you would click on like a nickname or an ad handle and it would go to Skype for no reason.
The wrong string of numbers and it would just go to call them on through Skype.
Yeah, using my credits that I haven't used or like refilled in however many years.
There used to be a way around that. You could use Skype to call Google Voice services back before Google Voice was a thing, really. And Google Voice services would then connect you to whatever phone number you wanted, but Skype to Google was free, and then Google would handle the rest. And we had a friend who used to do a lot of prank phone calls that way.
Oh God!
Yeah,
of course,
it was a mess. He would call McDonald's in Hawaii and say, "Ma'am, this was while swine flu was a thing." All right.
All right.
he would call McDonald's. He'd be like, "Ma'am, I just got home with my Big Mac, and there was a swine fly in my burger. I don't want to get. I don't."
A what? A what?
Swine fly, because he was playing like a dumb character that thought there was such thing as a swine fly that would give them swine flu. It was it was really dumb. But one day because he did it a lot, and then one day he came over to show us, and he called that same one that he'd called a whole bunch of times, and they were like, "Shut the fuck up," and hung up so aggressively. And I was so taken aback because I was like, McDonald's have phones? People call McDonald's? What? I was like, obviously I felt bad for the worker that had to deal with,
I mean,
a bunch of fucking punk kids prank calling them saying we found a swine fly in our Big Mac. But
just to be clear, I'm not laughing at the prank because that's not really my type of humor, because I don't like inconveniencing people who already have tough jobs.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
also, what I'm laughing at is the whole takeaway from this whole situation from you was that McDonald's has phones.
That was the new
McDonald's
thing for
had
you. Phones? Did you know you could call a McDonald's?
How do you think the business operated before internet was around?
Yeah, but this was before like online ordering was a thing. Nobody ordered anything online really except for pizza. Who was calling
that's
McDonald's
what I'm saying.
to say, "Hey, can I get a Big Mac in an hour?" What?
No. Well, maybe not about Big Macs, but the customer service and that kind of stuff. Corporate.
What? Who? Okay.
How do you think corporate would communicate with their locations?
Cell phones. Who calls a McDonald's and goes, "Look, here's the deal. I had a problem with my food that I ate in your store, and I'm very unhappy with it. But I've already eaten it, so." What? No, I mean, maybe,
my God.
maybe a drive-through order that you went and you picked up. You went home, you got there, and you're like, "Wow, they gave me three McDoubles instead of 10 Big Macs. How am I going to survive? I don't know." But no.
Rahlyx,
why would a McDonald's have a phone? At least
there was probably a reason, because it is there.
I understand like having a phone, all right? Obviously, the act of having a phone is not that bizarre to me. But a phone number that they would list saying, "Yes, this is McDonald's, how can I help you?" Like, obviously,
some of them
have a phone number to call corporate, sure. Like what you were saying, that's fine. But why would you even open yourself to that?
Before they had the centralized like online portals and stuff, they used to like when they were forced to list like nutritional information, and like there would be under the nutritional information on every item they would say like, "Call this number for additional nutritional facts," and stuff like that.
That's a hotline. That's a 1-800 number, baby. That's not a specific branch specific number.
That makes sense.
Yeah. No, that's just a hotline. Also,
I don't know. They just had phones for whatever reasons, okay?
I'm aware. I understand that. I came to grips with that when I called a McDonald's saying there was a swine fly in my burger, and then immediately
are we arguing
felt
about
terrible.
this?
We're not arguing. I'm just very heated about it. It's very surprising to me as a 12-year-old that McDonald's would have a landline that you could call and complain to them specifically, to these poor workers who are working fucking registers, getting shit thrown at them because they got their Big Mac wrong.
Oh God.
Like,
yeah.
Oh
jeez.
Why would you have a phone?
People still
Why would
do
you
that.
open yourself up to that?
Yeah.
Like, I just like, if I ran a McDonald's, if I ran a fast food branch, what I would do is I would get the phone, all right? And I would
unplug it.
I would set to go to voicemail always. And the voicemail would say, "Hey, you've reached McDonald's. Why the fuck are you calling McDonald's? What are you doing? Don't leave a voicemail, you idiot. I'm not going to listen to it. I have a McDonald's to run. I don't have time to sit through at the end of the day and go through these voicemails of people going, my Big Mac had 3 pieces of lettuce on it, not 4 pieces of lettuce. Who cares? Get out of here. Don't leave a message. Shut up. Beep." And then you could still leave a message, and I'm sure the answering machine would be full of laughter. Just people going, "What the fuck is this McDonald's?"
Oh God! And then the corporate calls.
That's a TikTok.
And then the corporate calls once, and then you're fired.
No. See, at the very, very end, before the beep, it goes, "And if you're corporate, just call my cell phone. You know who to call."
Oh God, Jesus Christ.
So here's the thing. All right, I want to add a disclaimer real quick. I I
All right.
am I am no stranger to when I talk about myself as a child. I go, I was a piece of shit. I was a shitty kid. All right, I was sheltered.
All right.
I grew up on a farm in the deep south and went to a Christian private school. All right.
Oh.
Let me tell
Mhm.
you, the realm of people that I interacted with was very small. I had the same class from 3rd grade to 9th grade when I left that school and moved to Africa. All right?
Wow.
So, when I tell these stories, I'm like, you don't have to tell me that I was a shitty kid. I know I was a shitty kid. Like, I'm well aware. And
I'm
I'm
aware.
a very different person now, and I hope people listening to this understand that. And I don't have any kind of
I am
concern
proud of
that
you
the people
for-
listening now would be like, "Oh, Rahlyx is a piece of shit." What? It's like, no. I mean,
Let's
I am a piece
cancel
of
him
shit,
for
but I'm a
something that he
better
did
piece
when
of
he
shit
was
than
12.
I used to be. Yeah, exactly. Like, no. No. Anyway, I just
mean-
wanted to add that disclaimer because it's just kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's completely understandable, and also with the nature of how internet is, sometimes it's it's necessary to say. But yeah, everybody understands, and I'm really proud of how far you've come because
I try to be.
now you are a really accepting person. Like I am your friend,
I've
and I
always-
am a non-binary gay person
Real quick, true, fair play.
from Russia.
I'm just real quick. I've always been a very accepting person. There was never any issues there. My brother's gay, and we found out when I was like 11 or 12, and I was like, okay, cool, you do
Yeah.
you. I don't care. So
Oh, that's
I've always been
amazing.
very accepting.
Good in
But
your
just
family
like
for
a good
the
like global citizen, not so much. But what were
yeah,
you
but I
gonna say?
mean, still, like cultural intelligence is also important.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Having an open mind and being like accepting of like people's ways of living.
Yeah,
It's an important thing to have for like a well-developed, well-rounded person.
absolutely. I this like okay, we're not getting to any of the topics that we put on this list, but I think we're having a good
Yeah, but, like-
conversation because this kind of leads me into a different topic where it's like people who grow up in one place
Mhm.
and then they stay in that one place for college because there happens to be a college there, and maybe
Yeah.
this town is called College Station even. Definitely not
I think
where
I know
I
where
grew
this is
up.
going.
But the people that grow there,
Mhm.
live there, go to college there, and stay there until they're old and never leave, I don't think are capable of growing as people. I think they plateau when they are very young. And there's something to be said. I'll add a qualifier here. All right. They plateau when they're very young and then they stay in the glory days. You know what I mean? And you see that all the time. Look at fucking Uncle Rico, Napoleon Dynamite. He's like, yeah, I could have gone pro in football back in high school. I could have thrown this football right over those mountains. That right there is such a small town like vibe that you never left.
Mentality.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Where it's like, yeah, those were the glory days. And I'm staying here because I want to live in those glory days. Because all the people I interact with go, Rico, throw that ball over the mountain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now
I
there's something
am
to be
the top of the town, and I would like for it to stay that way. Basically.
Exactly. And there's something to be said about people who can't leave because of their means. I definitely have had a lot
that's
of friends
completely
that-
valid. Like if you can't,
Yeah.
then it's not your fault.
But the other side of that is the people that can't leave because of their means have a completely different experience. So they grow differently. They can grow beyond because they didn't have it easy where they could like live in the glory days. They probably have had to struggle for you know, for their meals, for their rent, that sort of thing.
And they would probably be pushed to look outward and search for like different things.
Yeah.
Because of being pressured where they are.
Yeah. Exactly. It's one of those things where when you look at a small town like that and somebody who never had to struggle and just wants to stay there forever and they go, "Oh, this is great." And then there's the person who has struggled and has, you know, pulled themselves up for better or worse by their own efforts, they go, this is wrong. Like, I shouldn't have had to do this. You know what I mean? Like there's no community around me necessarily supporting me, no greater community. Maybe there's a small tight knit community because I know that's what I had. But like, dude, when I was presented the opportunity to get the fuck out of that town, I got the fuck out of that town. And I have so many friends I look back and they never got the fuck out of that town. You know what they are now? And there's no problems with what they do, but they're landscapers, they're plumbers, and that's great. That's fine. We need trades like that. That's good. But the problem is you go and you look at their Facebook page and it's full of, man, high school, right? And it's like, dude. And then one of them has their profile picture that's just, they added like a Trump filter to their picture of them with their wife in front of the Taj Mahal. And then it just says in big letters, Trump 2020, text this number to show your support. And it's like, okay, all right. I don't know where I was really going with this.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I lost my train of thought. I don't know. So Peepsy. Let's talk about Peepsy. I don't know.
What a seamless segue.
Just like the gist of what I was getting at is that it's like it's hard in small towns to grow as a person, and I think it's important that everybody leaves their small town. Now, this doesn't count towards people who, like, let's say, like, born and raised in LA and still live in LA. That's different. Major cities are
they're
like
kind of
melting
boiling pots of culture as is.
Exactly. So anyway, that's
Yeah,
the end of my ramblings about that. I don't really know why I got here or where I'm going from there. But yeah, I don't know.
It's just something that was on your mind that you just decided I want to share that.
It's just me waxing poetic, exactly.
Yeah, and I can kind of contribute to that in the fact that when I was little, I used to live in like capitals of countries that I used to live in. Like when I was in Russia, I lived in Moscow, and it's like living in a big city that has a lot of different cultures coming into it from all of the different kind of places. It is also its own unique kind of experience because you never know what kind of person you're going to meet or who they're going to be or where they're going to be from. So that's like, that is already like sets your mind up to an expectation of, I never know what to expect from the person, so I'm not going to assume. Yeah. And that's like a good mindset to have, but it's still, even if you just stay in the same place, you kind of grow comfortable with it. And sometimes you just need to push yourself out of the boundary, which means that you have to like go some new place. If you have an opportunity to learn something new, go for it. Yeah. And that's basically what I did when I reached college stage of education. I said, okay, I'm just gonna go over the ocean and live in a completely different country now from like whatever I used to live in. Yeah. And now I'm here, and the change between, like, even for me, the person who was living in capitals where there was like a lot of different cultures boiling and mixing together, when I came here, the cultural shock of transferring from a place of like something like Ukraine to America, it was still so jarring that I had like a really tough time adjusting. When I first was here for like first 6 months. Yeah, fair enough. And like, excuse me, there's a hair right here. You're good. So and like when you do something like that, and when there's international educational like people telling you, oh, you're gonna experience culture shock because like this culture is completely different from yours, even though it doesn't seem like this right now. Like, you probably also experienced that when you were in Morocco, or however long time you were. Like, at first you think, like, oh, how bad can it be? Like, it's just a little bit different, like, a little different all over the place. I can handle that. Yeah. And then you do it for, like, a month or two, and then you realize, oh, this is mentally taxing. Because nothing is done the same way as I'm used for it to be done. So I have to literally relearn all of my social interactions that I'm doing with everyone that I meet. So it's like it's new knowledge. It gives you a different viewpoint on the things that you see throughout life when you meet people.
Yep.
And it is useful, like, to have an open worldview and open mind like that, because you never know what the person's background is, and sometimes it's better to listen rather than just to try and shove your own viewpoints and like assumptions onto them.
Absolutely. I mean,
So-
and that's just like very, very true. It's so important that if you're in a new place, like just listen to
Yeah.
the new, because you're not gonna know. You can go in there going, I know what I'm doing. You're not gonna
Learning
know.
never hurts.
Exactly.
Is what I is like
Learning
what I
never hurts.
learn
it's
like
how to
learning
throw
new things,
knives,
like
then it can
learning new
hurt.
useful stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. We're just gonna ignore that. Okay.
What? Sorry, I
No,
completely missed what you
No,
said.
I said unless it's learning how to throw knives, that could hurt.
Oh God.
Oh bless.
I just that was so jarring that I just immediately blacked it out of my memory.
Yeah, that's super
Like,
valid.
I
I
didn't
was
even
like,
register
no,
it.
that's fair. Oh bless.
Anyway, Peepsy.
Yeah, so Peepsy. What the fuck? Marshmallow flavored soda. Wait, what is it called? It's not called Peepsy?
I don't
Is
know.
it just called Peep Soda? Let me look.
I have no idea what it is called, but like one of the trending topics on Twitter amongst all of the Dream and George and Tommy and whatever everything.
Oh, it's just called
else.
Marshmallow Soda?
Is it? Well, yeah. One of the trending topics on Twitter was Peepsy, because Pepsi and Peeps, the marshmallow company, decided to make a collaborative drink.
Yeah, it's Marshmallow Cola.
Marshmallow Cola?
They could have called it Peepsy.
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason why it was trending on Twitter, because people were so upset at that they didn't call it Peepsy. But what is what is interesting to me is that when the Twitter trended it, it was trending under the topic of politics.
Oh god.
So just like the last time when we discussed the word testicles was trending under the topic of politics
Yeah.
on Twitter for no reason whatsoever, now Peepsy, the marshmallow flavored cola, is trending under the topic of politics as well. I guess our political scene is getting really diverse and interesting
Fair enough.
because now it involves marshmallow flavored soda. Is that like a nod back to that horrible Pepsi ad that who was that? Which Kardashian did it? I don't remember.
Was it a Kardashian or was it one of the Jenner kids?
Jenner's.
No, I think it was Caitlyn Jenner.
No, it wasn't Caitlyn.
Hold on.
Courtney? No.
Pepsi.
Kylie?
I'm looking
No.
it up.
I don't remember
Kendall.
which of
Kendall
the
Jenner.
Kendall Jenner, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't even know all of their names, so like don't even come for me.
No, I don't
But but yeah, that could possibly be one of like a nod to that awful commercial that it did like however many times ago.
Yeah.
Many times? How many years? It was like 2016, 2015, something like that.
Sorry. Hold on.
It was like a very long time
because
ago.
because I'm on Twitter.
Yeah.
They're filling a tub with a wedding dress. They're filling it with milk and food coloring. Hold on. Stand by.
Excuse me, what?
They added blue, red, and yellow, and they're pouring dish soap into a bowl. And and they're swirling the dish soap with a sponge until they fully cover the sponge wand, and they're sticking it in the milk, and it's causing the food coloring to go wild. And they're squidging it into the wedding dress that is submerged in milk.
I have no idea what
looks
the
like a
fuck you're talking
funfetti
about.
cake. Oh my god, the wedding dress looks like a funfetti cake, and they're like, wow, get a load of that. What? Excuse me?
Okay,
Hello?
Maybe it's time to close Twitter and open InspiraBot.
Hold on, I'm quote tweeting it right now. We just talked about this as we're.
So if you're listening to this episode and you're not following Rahlyx on Twitter, go follow Rahlyx on Twitter for this kind of tweets.
In this video, I'm fucking shaking, RN.
You heard it here first. Or like if you saw this tweet and now you're listening to this podcast episode, now you know where it came from.
Less. Also, Roni tweeted, "Whoever named boobs had it nailed. Yep,
Yeah.
those really are boobs." I was like, what? All right, whatever.
The name fits.
Yeah, right. So we're doing Inspirebot now?
Yeah.
You sound so depressed. You're like, this podcast is a fucking mess. We're done here.
But no, that's just also at the same time I got like an Inspirebot that was really foul.
I got a really good one.
I looked at it and it was like, why me?
I got a really good one. It's it looks like Taylor Swift in her Red era. So she's wearing like a black and she's wearing like a black and white striped shirt.
Era or era?
Era. Same. This is the same. 6 of one, half dozen of another. This actually might be a still of Taylor Swift. I'm really not sure. But it's a black and white striped shirt, red pants. I guess like loafers. I don't know what kind of shoes those are. And she's throwing a red handkerchief, like a red plaid handkerchief in the air. And it's behind her is a major city. I don't recognize the skyline, but it is kind of like post-apocalyptic. Everything's gray and dirty and it looks terrifying. And she's standing in the middle of the road. And the caption says, "Support who you want to support. The network of international bankers would never hurt anyone." Like, what?
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Was that statement made by the International Network of Bankers?
I think the statement was made by the Network of International Bankers. If I had to guess,
they're trying to convince us to trust them. Don't trust them.
Don't trust them.
I'm still trying to.
Speaking of,
I'm like
that's
flicking
fine.
through them.
You keep looking. Roni just commented on my tweet that I just retweeted, and Roni says, "This is criminal." You're damn right, Roni. I hope you listen to this podcast.
It is
I hope you hear
criminal.
this.
Yeah.
I'm
still looking through the Inspirebots because they're giving me really weird really weird pictures and really weird quotes. It's a little disturbing.
Disturbing. Oh, it's a little disturbing. All right.
Okay.
You got it?
Okay, I got it. So there's this beautiful man in the forefront with lots of rings and like a fur scarf around his neck, standing like in a really like modeling pose. In front of like a all blue background with like some clouds in the background.
Right.
And the text says, "Cruel is a student who destroys his breasts, but crueler is a student who destroys his hut."
What? On that note, I think that's it for today. Sorry for a lot of rambling.
This kind of summarizes what this podcast has been.
There's a lot of rambling.
A mess.
You know what? We say that every episode. We truly say that every episode.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of our brand. Isn't it?
It do be.
We're kind of a mess.
Just a little bit. Just like.
Just know that we mean well.
We do mean well. Sorry for all the rambling. You know what? We had a whole list of topics we didn't really get to. We hit the highlights. We hit the big stuff.
Yeah, we hit the highlights. The Peepsy, especially.
Yeah, the Peepsy, Hannah Montana, Twitch compilation. Those were
all
the big
all
ones.
of the important stuff.
All the big stuff. So
yeah. All the stuff that you care about.
Exactly.
You know how they say in the like.
Look here. You guys, you viewers, not you, Scarfee. Don't look at me. You guys at home, look here. Look at me. Are you looking? I don't. Okay, thank you. Thank you for finally looking. It took a hot minute.
Jessica, you in the back row over there. I see you.
I see you on your phone. Put it down. I'm gonna call the principal.
Right.
Thanks for tuning in. This is the news that you care about on the 11s, the 9s, the 5s, the 1s, the 3s, and sometimes the 6s. Thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for wearing your best pants while you're listening to this song. I meant podcast and song came out, and I don't know why you'd be wearing your best pants, but you know what? Thank you for wearing your best pants because it shows respect to the artist who made the song. It shows that you want to be dressed nicely when you interact with them. You could be wearing your worst shirt, but as long as you're wearing your best pants, that's all that matters.
Okay,
so.
we got to wrap this. On this note, we're gonna leave you to think over whatever the fuck we just said.
I'm sorry. I'm just in the mood.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.